Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that like and the subscribe button, and if you have any opinions at all that you would like to share, be sure to leave them down in the comment section. The Allman Brothers Band, Where It All Begins. The Allman Brothers Band were an American blues rock band formed way back in 1969. A band from way back in the day that I was never properly introduced to, but they were always a band that I knew existed. But what I do know is the legacy they left behind, being extremely influential in the southern rock scene, paving the way for some other fantastic and notable bands such as Leonard Skinner. And as much as I wish I could be talking about the band in their prime, that's not what this viewer suggested. Instead, 90s Allman Brothers, specifically 94's record, Where It All Begins. A record that was recorded entirely live and still sold fairly well, reaching gold status in 98, but also wasn't the best received by critics. Where do I stand on the album? Let's find out as I review it track by track. Since I couldn't find if there were any singles, we'll just start at the top of the track list, with that being All Night Train, which I'm kind of split on personally. The guitar work on this track is very well done, really the highlight of the tune, and serving as an enticing opener for this album, plus some very solid thumping drums to back it all up. Gregg Allman's vocals are also nice and energetic, clearly aged as well, but they're a fine wine kind of aged. Unfortunately, the tone doesn't really project all the acclaim that I've been throwing at this track as of now. Performances are all great, but the tone just feels overly drab and insipid, bringing the enjoyment of the track down a bit for me. Lyrically, it talks about Gregg's drug problem, something he never used to bring up in tracks before. Not a bad song. Sailing Across the Devil's Sea is much more exciting despite being very similar tempo, and that's due to the grittier guitar work, but also alongside the accompanying normal guitar riffing that's just so satisfying to hear in the background. As a result of the more lively production, Gregg's voice stands out so much more as exuberant, yet still wise at the same time. While this track may be 5 minutes, it's structured and performed fantastically well, as Gregg sings about this woman putting this infatuating spell on him. Good song, I like it. Back Where It All Begins is a full 9 minutes and 10 seconds, already not a favorite purely based on length, and nothing else here really grips me regardless. There's a country tinge to the track, extended instrumental passages courtesy of Dickie Betts to pad out the runtime, which are fairly good, but it definitely could have been trimmed quite a bit by about a couple minutes. As a result, Gregg's vocals kind of get pushed back in favor of the guitar work. He sounds much less enthused in general, being confined to the background. While it may be extravagant in its performance, its tone is poor and frail. Hard pass. Soulshine definitely stands out to me in the best way. As the title will suggest, it's a very soulful ballad. Performances here are all stellar. Gregg sings with so much passion and honesty, it's no wonder this track became a fan favorite, with the bluesy guitar riffs as well. Even though the track is a stunning 6 minutes and 44 seconds, it's engaging and captivating all the way throughout as he sings about how we all have our bad days, but we always gotta remember to let our soul shine. Gorgeous song, absolutely worth checking out. No One to Run With, which became the most popular track on the album regarding airplay, and I can see why on some aspects. On the negative end, it does seem kind of bloated. The lyrics really don't stand out in the final project here, which are just about you and your friends sitting down with your wives and children, missing the crazy shenanigans you all used to do when you were children yourselves. The main attraction here are, as per usual, the extended, winding solos separating each verse and chorus, which are all satisfying, and even at the 6 minutes it is, it's the one that breezes by the quickest on the album. This is a good song. Change My Way of Living is a real toil to sit through all the way, mainly regarding this instrumental. It's just so lethargic and lifeless. It may have a bluesy country accent to it, but it's no fun at all, which clashes in practically every way with Gregg's vocals in a bit of a higher dynamic vocal tone. Where the previous track, No One to Run With, felt like a competent and fast-moving track, this one's just like swimming through molasses, slow and damn near tiresome, as Gregg sings about all the sorrow raining down on him and wanting to change his way of living. I think this is another hard pass for me. Mean Woman Blues has one of the most upbeat and hard-rocking styles on the entire record. This one also has the problem where Gregg's vocals don't seem to be the prime focus of the track, but on this one I can understand since the track is just such a jam all around. The lively guitar work, the energetic drums, and just the higher tempo in general makes it feel like kind of a forgotten gem from its time. Lyrically, it's about how this woman isn't the nicest, treats him pretty poorly, but he still loves her regardless. Another pretty good song. Everybody's Got a Mountain to Climb brings us back to familiarity with a much more moody groove overall. The dual guitar work is a nice touch, and the drums have much more of a country edge to them, But this track probably presents the least to talk about, which is especially due to the runtime, being the shortest track on the record just at 4 minutes. And in comparison to the deep layers present on most of the other songs, this just feels weak and by the numbers. The lyrics are probably the best part of the tune, about real life struggles, how everyone's always got a mountain to climb, it's not just an easy road to travel. In the end, it's pretty meh, I could take it or leave it. What's Done is Done is another fairly short track, just barely surpassing 4 minutes. But this one presents so much more to enjoy. There's a clean, nostalgic blues groove, the drums are impactful, the guitar is pleasant, not overly stretched, and Greg's raspy vocals take center stage as he sings about this debaucherous life, getting into confrontations with other men, often ending in gunfire. While it may seem a little bit formulaic and mundane on the surface, it is concise and I really enjoyed the track. Great song. And finally, the closer Temptation is a Gun ends the album as a slow, bluesy cut, and it's not that bad. Greg's really got that perfect voice for blues rock. It sounds like he's experienced a lot and been through so much life, and now he's that elder providing the youth with some philosophic knowledge and morals. It's very appropriate when combined with the smoother yet still dense percussion and heavy guitar work. Lyrically, it tells a tale of this man who had a happy family, but then went on to tell lies, have affairs, and it all comes to haunt him when people find out. Good song, good closer. Overall, this album didn't really wow me in any specific way. In fact, it's kind of what I expected. A lot of bluesy melodies, personal and also serious lyrical topics, and a heaping portion of great guitar solos. There is some dreariness scattered across the tracklist, turning some of these songs into a bit of a chore, and some that weren't really all that memorable, but as a whole, I'm feeling a 6.5 out of 10 on this album. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.